I was thinking about how and Lil and Iki, sounds like they've been around in the physical for a long time, and seeing their very own, whatever she is to them, mother put into the phantom zone and stuff. It would only make sense if they pay attention to not want to go into a place where they can't do anything.
Yeah. Who can say? Again, it's choice, and seeing more than the personal self, and that's not easy. I see it. It's not easy. I've been through a lot myself, and I still have to deal with my personal self. So it's not easy. I'm not going to sit there and say that, oh, I'm the master and I'm the master of this and I can do this and all. That's silly stuff. We've been through that. And we've seen these so-called masters talk, and all of them around the world, the Dalai Lama, the Pope, the Harry, and just all these masters and gurus and, CEOs, presidents, queens, kings. And where are they? They're basically all deceptors. They deceive others. So much for that. Yeah, I won't take the stand with that. And again, it's not about me. People think it's about me. Just like the kids that were here. They think it's, they think it was about me, that I was, asking them to do certain things to forward all this, thinking that, we're promoting Duane the Great Writer here. Duane the Great Writer is just like think of it as a truck that delivers the news, a newspaper truck. That's what it is. It's just, you've got the production, the new presentation, etc. You've got the production going on. There's Duane in there, creating things, creating the newspaper. And then we got the truck. Duane the Great Writer is the truck out there delivering those newspapers. It's a vehicle. And so I've learned a lot too, and that is that, no, it's not about me. And this is where people get disturbed. Some people get disturbed. It's like, well, you're, like Charles in that, one of his things is that, he found one of the old websites that did beingfree.org in 2001 to 2003. At that time, in that time space, matrix for that time. And so now he's throwing that out there, etc. And it's a little bit silly. That's what it was for that time. But since then, I learned a lot, and that is, I didn't want to do the same thing. I started to go in that direction because I didn't know what else to do at the time. It's just like anything. It's like a construction business. You just kind of do what everybody else is doing until you figure it out and you start doing your own thing. And you decide that you don't have to do what everybody else does. You figure it out. And so and especially with Ava, having fun creating these images and, creating our characters for the real side to point people to the real side. And, again, Eckart's a good example with Joni because she markets Harry. She markets the physical part because people are very attached to that physical body. And that's okay. It's not a good, bad, or a different thing. That's okay. But that's really not us. We're the real awareness operating in that body. And so that body's going to get old and weird and funny and etc. But the real individual always is, always is. It's with the isness. And so we call it the real side, but it's an isness to be recognized. It already is. Seen through this simulator, etc. So, and if people are bothered by it, I don't try and explain that. It's like, fine, you want to be bothered? Your choice. Go ahead and be bothered. But my focus is the real side, the all is. That's my focus. That's my references. Everything references the isness life is. And when the individual learns to recognize that endlessness, that isness, then we all stand real as free beings of light, like the stars in the sky. We are all like the stars in the sky. We don't need attitudes or whatever. We have that ongoing recognition. That's what it's all about. It's not about who's the master, who's the leader, who's the guide, whatever. It's about that real position and having a real purpose and simply, helping people get along with a real education here so they can understand that and learn to recognize that. Yeah. And so these Skypes, it's not about me. It's about all of us. It's for everybody. Yeah. There's no difference. And people take advantage of that. You know, they accumulate the knowledge that I've written and shared. And then all of a sudden they think they're on top of the world. Well, fine. Go have fun. But you got nothing. It's just words. Just reference. You have nothing until you recognize the is and stand real with all life. That's real. Can you do that? Will you do that? But no, that little personal self is so important. You got to have all the thrills and kicks that you've had for lifetimes that have ruined you. And you need that, all that experience. You've needed it all. But now you really have to decide to have a real focus, real purpose, etc. So, yeah, and we're all individuals in life, Tim. We all have to deal with ourselves, etc. But I'll tell you, the best part is that when you really see through this personal self, I still have to do the things here. I still have to maintain this body just like you would your car. You wash it, you polish it, you wash the tires and rims so it looks nice. You know, I'm out there in the world. I do what I can. I make certain appearances or whatever. I do whatever I can, but point people to the references as a start. And then from there, they decide if they want to learn to see what life really is. That's what it's all about. I don't want to be the this or that. No. No way. I like my privacy here. And again, it's not about me. I am grateful that I have the awareness to be able to produce something that I can share in reference to this reality. That's my whole life. Sincerity and gratefulness. That's everything. And that's it. Yeah, so, and those people that listen or whatever, fine. If they don't, fine. But I'm not going to explain myself anymore. Remember, Paul, he didn't explain himself either. He's very adamant. You know, Paul and Revizor, etc., no nonsense. Because again, it's not about chasing happiness either. That's something that you do for your personal self. Like the sun shining, when you just stand there with the sun and you just be with the sun, you decide to be happy or not. That's something with your personal self. But the sun shining, it doesn't decide to be happy. It's real. You decide how real you want to be. And that's just a reference, an example. Can you even consider what the true reality life is? How real it is? How perfect and pure and sincere it is? Beyond anything you can consider. And it don't stop shining. Never stops shining. But look at the personal self, how it vacillates and goes back and forth in this way and that way. All kinds of funny stuff, isn't it? Well, again, we need that part, and it helps us wake up, even when we do all the funny things we do, right or wrong or indifferent. So if you don't get it now, maybe you'll get it later, whatever. Who knows? But who is it that's going to come up with something that refers to this reality also, and so that they have the intent to be sincere and honorable? That has to take place too. You know, these people that I've mentioned out there before, they're deceptors. They deceive people. They put on a good show, but they really deceive others. Again, go to the real side. Yeah. Ask Revizor and Paul, you'll be shown, you know, what is real now. Again, it's not about me. It's about everybody. But you got to prove yourself. You got to figure it out. Lucky you, it's here. Lucky you, I took all the time to do this. Lucky me that I did it for me too. Yes, I did, and I struggled with this. Struggled to figure this out. A lot of years, a lot of lifetimes. Yeah. So I like it. What I like to see is how people understand what is being presented, and they themselves step up and do something to prove that to themselves and others and the world, and to share this becoming more aware. That's what it's all about. It's not about becoming popular. It's not about becoming good or nice or wonderful. It's about becoming more aware. Just more aware of what's going on, so that eventually you can just walk right through all these restrictions that, we've each decided for ourselves. And this realm is nothing but restriction. You can chase all the thrills you want, and result is you're right back here. Where is it? Nowhere. The only thing that there is to recognize the isness, stand real with that, so you have no restrictions. No one is asking anything of you here. Yeah, that's why I never did the membership or any of that. Forget it. I'll figure it out myself. I'll get my own funding, do my own projects, whatever. And anybody can decide this. Everybody has the right to. Shouldn't be waiting for me. You decide your life. It's your life. You know that now. Simply stand real with what makes sense in this senseless world. We got to deal with the world. Yeah. So as we're together, we provide confidence for each other. Also, there is confidence there and make sense of things, not just cute stories that sound good, old wisdom that, oh, wow, that's cool. They're just words. They're just words. It's more than that. It's not about a bunch of emotional gobbledygook either. It's not that either. Those are the 5 bodies, and that's fine. But that's your personal life. You do whatever you want in your personal life. Yeah, I do. I do funny things, and they're just funny with the personal self. But my real focus, my real intent, my real purpose is doing what I'm doing here, to share something real and to keep focusing there. And little by little, it shows up on the real side. And those of you that have stepped forward become the great witnesses like Kevin and others that have stepped forward, share their experiences. And those that are very sincere, they will get the real side experiences. The boys know if you're sincere or not, or if you're just fooling around. Those people that I've known have come and gone, they show up on the real side. I don't decide their lives, but all of a sudden you get objective views. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that, do you want to be there with them? Just because you like them or they liked you or whatever? Well, your choice. You can. And then you won't see what's real. But, that's a big journey. So anyhow, Tim, yes, I know that was a lot to say there, but a lot's going on here, and a lot of people are, it's a little bit hard for them to understand what's going on in the world and all this silly stuff. And also I wanted to, as long as I'm talking, go over this virus thing. Now, what I see on Facebook, people are constantly talking about, oh, gee, I'm not going to wear the mask, or why does this, or why does the government want that, or let's do this, whatever. See, they keep spreading this. I don't do that. You know what? Just let it go. Just like the chip. I remember when the chip was supposed to come out in 2017. Well, you didn't see a lot of people talking about it. They tried to market it, but a lot of people didn't talk about it. But everybody's talking about the virus and the masks. And every time they do, they're promoting it. They don't see that. They're thinking that, oh, okay, by me commenting on it, etc. And guess what? Facebook, the CIA, the FBI, the world controllers, they see all those comments. They utilize that, okay? They use everything against everybody, all right? So when you point to something real, all right, that makes sense, then it does make sense. And they see it too. They do. They see everything I write. That's why I'm still on Facebook and Skype and whatever, because there's a lot of them that are waking up. Yeah. So very interesting. And you remember, some of you, that when Charles, and I knew he would do it soon as the, March or April, that the virus scam started to come. And I knew that first Skype, that next Skype with Charles would be focused on that. And it was. And I never mentioned it in anything. And he wanted me to comment on it. Well, I'm not going to comment on nonsense, except that it's nonsense. And if somebody gets sick from a virus or something, fine, take care of it, go to the doctor, or heal yourself, even better. But don't proclaim it to where everybody in the world is suddenly infected and must react accordingly, and cover themselves up and hide away. This is all silly stuff. This is what they want people to do. They just like controlling people and seeing them react, beating them down, because we're here and we're providing a real understanding, a real wake up, etc. So that's what's going on. Everything's cause and effect. Everything compensates itself. So it's a real challenge for all of us. And each person decides, what are you going to promote, etc. So this is all for everybody. This is the real fountain of youth. The real cure for all is to recognize your real awareness and do something accordingly for this world to promote it. And yeah, in the old days, a lot of people looked at Tesla and people like this. Well, Tesla had his day, and he provided energy and whatever. But that's just a physical thing. And guess what? Tesla on the real side, when I was dealing with certain things and certain computer stuff and whatever, Tesla's old school. They didn't want to have nothing to do really with Tesla. He was just, he was kind of in the way. Tesla had his day, just like Abraham Lincoln or George Washington or Jesus or Muhammad, Buddha, whatever, scientists or whatever, teachers. Yeah, they had their day. It's always the new nowness. Now we can look at these things as references. And what we figure out is what took place that we know that we don't need to do anymore unless we decide to. Yeah. So what is the number one thing with all of life? What is the number one reality? Survival. It's not love. It's not eating. It's not friendship. It's not having children, boy meets girl, going to the movies, okay? Or even having a martini at the end of the day. It's survival. Overall survival. Look at that sun shining. It's only interested in survival. It's not interested in chasing thrills, being happy, believing in gods, etc. No. We're looking for saviors. It's only interested in survival. And people forget this. They think through the marketing ploy of world controllers that they're surviving better because they can buy a better couch. Wow, isn't that cool? And they have a big screen TV set. That's all that matters. That's survival. Okay. Every person makes their choice. Of course, we do have a big screen here too. And so anyhow, we have fun with that.